A very good evening, a good morning, good afternoon is worldwide. Of course, it's going to be a wonderful session as usual. But it's getting started and everything. And if you've just arrived, welcome to another spectacular event we're going to have as always. We've got some real good lineups today. And most importantly, I've taken the time out to do some great stuff. If you just joined us, I want you to start to get yourself ready and all organize because we've got lots more that we're going to do. I'm just going to stop and pause here because I actually hear myself as an echo. But anyway, here we're live and that's most important. Just before I start, if you're on the Google Plus pages and if you're on a Facebook, wherever you're tuning in, just want to acknowledge the page and make sure that everybody's okay. If you can just type in the chat room, you can hear me, they'd be grateful. You're not going to see me today, so I'm going to be showing more of the slides and getting things really underway. Of course, we've got the wonderful session and Ron's in the back. He's charging up things and getting the engine rolling as usual, and he's more importantly, he's just taking some of the Q&As and in the background doing things, and he's a wonderful guy, and we're going to be talking about that a bit later on in the show. So we're just waiting for everybody to arrive. It's dead on 4 o'clock in the United Kingdom. I do believe it's 11 o'clock in Michigan, USA. And wherever you are in the world, welcome, because we're going to really have a good session about content, and we're really going to go deep. If you're a business owner or an entrepreneur, I definitely would say, listen, go out, tell somebody about this session, because I'm going to go into some things that really, as a business owner, you should be really thinking about. That's more importantly. And those are the things that you should be really focusing in your business. So, as I said, we're just getting ready. We're getting things started. If you joined us, we're going to start to get things on the roll. If you see me swapping from screen to screen, don't panic. It's just something that I'm doing in the background. So let's get started. If you're on the Google Plus page or actually in YouTube, pay close attention to the top right-hand side of the screen. In that, there'll be a chat box, hopefully located, where you'll be able to type your own messages and anything, the Q&As that you have. And I suggest you sort of definitely have a question to ask if you're online right now about content marketing. Feel free, because I've got a list of questions people ask me. And today, unfortunately, we're going to have about an hour's worth in this session because I've actually overbooked some meetings that I've got to attend to. But more importantly, again, below, if you can see my mouse hovering over the screen, there also is the actual comment sections where you can actually comment and ask questions as well. So either. I don't know if the chat box sometimes disappears for some reason on YouTube, but again, you can use the one below. Definitely use that, because we're going to be answering some questions later on, and also some information about things. So just to get started, as usual, the legal advice here. The workshop may contain ways of generating revenue. Myself, Leon Henry, and from the website, or Ron from Roma, cannot be held liable for any business damages, financial loss, directly, indirectly, punitive, or similar types of damages caused by negligence on today's show. You should always consult a legal professional business advisor within your local jurisdiction before making any financial decisions. The workshop is being recorded for future presentations, and it should not be reproduced in whole or part, translated, used with other material without any written consent. Without any communicated written consent. For you attending today's workshop, you abide by our terms and conditions. Excellent. So, just moving into things as usual. Let's have a look. I think someone's actually trying to get hold of me. I don't know who it is, but whoever it is, we'll have a look and see what goes on. Just moving into things. Let's have a look here. Find yourself in a quiet location if you're at a present moment, and that's definitely within your home if you're actually doing it right now. More importantly, as I said, close the door to your room, turn off the television set, radio, MP3 player, any chat applications you've got open, like Facebook, Skype, Yahoo, email, internet messaging, and above all, take down some wonderful notes, because this is what's going to be more importantly for you to take away, because we don't actually replay this because of the content we've got is very, very important, and we want to make sure that we get the right people getting the right content at the right time. So let's move on. The workshop itself, it says 1 hour. We're gonna actually go for 1 hour, just a bit, because the content we've got is quite a bit, and I think we want to try and narrow it down. And it's going to be about content marketing, and also we're gonna have a Q&A. We want to try and get in there as well. On top of that, so who am I really? My name's Leon Henry, if you didn't actually know, and welcome if you just joined us for the very first time. We've got lots of information. Yeah, I've been online for about 25 years, and you probably think, wow, yes, I know. But as I said, why should you really listen to me? And that's more important. Here are some of the companies that I've worked for in the past, and they now become my clients. And they said, so I've got a fair bit of information, a bit of knowledge on what goes on. And one itself has that kind of that credible stuff. So we've definitely got a huge mammoth worth of marketing information that we can serve and help small to large entrepreneurs and business owners. I'm actually one of the actual CEOs of the company called Webstep, and this is one of the main companies now, and we branch out to the USA, also the Caribbean, also London. And I've just acquired a new position. I am also the lead senior automation technical advisor for a company called Convertpool. We take care of marketing automation, and we definitely do lots of stuff that other companies don't do when it comes to marketing. So just to give you a really heads up before you even go anywhere, if you want to find out more about me and also Ron, from Ron McCummer, and again, there's some contact information. If you're to write this down and put this in your Rolodex, we'd be more than happy to talk to anybody that has any sort of problems with their business and needs that extra edge in marketing, and understand, where can we assist you, where your business can move forward. Feel free. At the very bottom, if you see my LinkedIn address, you can find more about me and how many people have actually helped and who have helped in the past, and where we're going right now. So there's the email addresses. Feel free to put them down. If you do have any questions or concerns, definitely contact us first, more importantly, and state clearly what you do, what is the problem. Because we want to get you to the right people and give you the right solution. So take this down, and I'll put this slide up later on within the actual session. Obviously, you can see Ron's website here. Go over there, you can see the wonderful achievements that Ron does himself, and you can also contact him, exactly the same questions and answers, things like that. I just wanted to add something in here, because if you're a business owner, and I strongly suggest you do venture into this one, because this is just launched and it's a bestseller of best of the month here. And this is one of the people that I've worked with closely, and his name is Stuart Andrew Alexander. And he just posted this the other day, and I said, oh my gosh, and he just got the best of the month. And they say, well, that shows something, and this guy knows what he's talking about. Credible breakthrough secrets, how to establish instant credibility and trust with prospects and customers. This guy's got a brand new book. It's 133 amazing pages. What's got some information that will just really blow you away. And guess what? This guy is actually putting it out for 99 cents. Really don't look at the actual, the price itself. The information he's got in here is truly unbelievable. I suggest you check this out. Take down his URL, said, type it in. Type it in and look for his name. It's Stuart Andrew Alexander. And just type in credible breakthrough secrets. I will definitely endorse this and recommend it, because if you ever work with this guy and what he tells you will just mind blow. He's one of the guys I really do look up to when it comes to stuff like this. He knows what he's talking about. So I suggest you just definitely get involved with this. If you're online right now, I definitely would go out and check out this guy, download it or buy it straight away. If you've got Kindle right now, you can get it on your Kindle, and it's 133 pages worth of information. And like, I don't really like if you go anywhere else and you don't know this guy, I'm gonna leave it up to you. There it is. Again, I'll definitely endorse this guy because he knows what he's talking about. So let's really talk about today and what we're going to be talking about. I want you to take this just for the starting off as the intro. Content is anything that adds value to the reader's life. Now, emphasis value, because many people don't understand adding value. It's not something that you can turn on at the tap. You've got to really think about it strategically when we add value to a product or service. And this is the key here on what we're trying to do when we're doing this, adding value. How do we add value? But again, we're just talking about content today. And it's quite important when we talk about content, because all of us read in different ways. All of us actually do things in different ways. Online, we just think, okay, we're going to go out and write just for the sake of it. None of these marketeers and all these people online, they don't really tell you how to really go about writing content, which is adding value. The difference is just not writing. It's a situation where you can add value to actually increase the sale. And this is what we're going to be talking about today. How can you write something that adds value to your business and the ways that actually gets it across without being sat by the computer system and doing things that don't make any sense, where people are not reading what you're doing. You're just wasting time. Especially business owners today, think about your time and how valuable that is on what you're doing. So this is one of those things we do. As you can see, we add value to your business where we want to help you. And this is why we do what we're going to do, because this is content and this is another medium of how you could use it as well. So content marketing, what are the benefits here? Why should you be using it? So the benefits is brand visibility. So you can got a great way you can actually get your brand out there using the content itself. Many people don't understand that. It's, again, you can drive content to get yourself out there. So you can use content in a way to boost your brand. Build authority and credibility. Now, again, powerful words and way to use. You could use this in a way that you can be the go-to person. If you can write good content where people can engage with your content, that is useful. So note clearly, this is why content marketing is very good. But content is, as they said, is king, but more importantly is how you direct that content to people. All right. So if you've got a business, I want you to think about this very, very carefully, because there's lots of avenues you can use this. It's not straightforward. Remember, it's not just writing a document, expressing your views and whatever it may be. Some people are not really interested. I want you to look at it from a business point of view. Let's have a look at the internet itself. What we do as people, we go online to find solutions to problems that we do have. And the objective is to try and get this solution answered very quickly. Yep. And there is some sort of guidelines and rules that we need to put in place in the day to get this. The average mind thinks very, very quickly. And when visually they're seeing something, I've got this, what we call the 3-second rule. We're going to go into this a bit later because it's quite important to understand how the end person starts to communicate with your message. And we're definitely going to go through this a little bit later on. So provide value with no strings attached. And this is one, these are the type of benefits, and this is what we can do where we have a bit of content, and we don't have to commit to something in a way it is. And that's what we really want to think about. So once again, if you just joined us, welcome aboard. My name is Leon Henry. We're talking about content marketing for the business owner. And I'm going to unveil some secrets. And those of you who are here for the sort of prize as well, you can they'll give something away as usual. We're gonna add some value. I definitely want to give away 500 USD worth of training on the call. It's going to be something simple. I'm not going to really do put any magic hats. We're not here to even sell you anything, mind you. We're there to help you as best as we can in business, and this is what we're good at. So just some stats to understand what's going on in B2B marketers, and I just took this graph out very, very quickly just to give you an idea why people are using some of these channels here to distribute content. Now, if you're not on these platforms, and as I said, you've got to be careful, as we spoke last week. Be careful when you choose your platform. It can cripple your business if you don't know what you're doing. All right, so you can spend that wrong messages and things down. So I went from top to bottom. LinkedIn, if you're not on LinkedIn, and if you're a business person, I suggest you start to move towards that if you can, because it's a very good platform, and you can yield lots of business. And once again, I would do a whole session on LinkedIn, and where I really will go deep into things where it makes some sense. Twitter, Facebook, Google, excuse me. These map platforms itself, you can go out there and deliver content in all different shapes and forms or sizes. But more importantly, again, they're just really predicted at the present moment. These type of platforms are pretty good for content delivery. They all come in, wherever you want to do it is most important, but you've really got to think about where you're putting the content, where your end user is likely to actually view your content, with the most powerful, actually the most acceptable and readable channel. So this is something where you've got to look at when delivering this type of thing and content, because you can write all over the place, and guess what? Your audience is not reading what you're doing. Just a waste of time. I've seen it time and time again. How many sites have you really been to? And you just don't even read the content because it's just boring. You haven't got time. You want an answer. And as I said before, if you can add value to what you do and you write something with value and people engage, you've won the battle. Content marketing itself, comes in all different shapes and forms and sizes. And again, look at the internet and how we deliver messages to the people. I just listed some here, just a few, and I'm going to go into another slide in a minute or two. Is that in blogs, these WordPress or sites or whatever it may be, is content on there you to read, and again, they engage you to do things. Video, as we know, YouTube channels, there's content been delivered, how-tos, there's all different things. Audio here, podcasting, MP3s, content has been delivered, iTunes. All those platforms provide content, but it always is the same principle, adding value. There's a strategy, and there's ways to deliver it where it makes good sense. We've got books, physical books, there's content. It's not just online. It can be online, offline, magazines. There's content. There's ways to actually, do marketing with the message, providing some sort of value, providing some sort of, enhancement, building your brand to get that person to buy from you in sales. This is what we're talking about here. So look about your messages that you put out there as a business owner. Yeah, because it could be a flyer, but again, you're providing some sort of value for that person to engage and actually buy from you. Ebooks is another thing. We've got Amazon. So content is very, very broad, and it needs to be actually consigned together, and you've got to really think about it yourself. I'll just sneak this. I don't know if you can see this, and I'll try and highlight it a bit more. Content, you can see in the middle, marketing strategy. This is why we're in this business, because all these little circles around it, you need to really understand each one of them before you even start. Because you've got all these things I've just mentioned a while ago. You've got mobile automation. You've got here advertising programs, direct mail, social media, email marketing, public relations is PR. Search engine. the website itself, yeah, they are, just tons. So content itself, again, it comes in all these platforms, and you've got to try and manage them the best way you can. And you can think about it, the majority of you have been on so many platforms. It's unbelievable. Yeah, how can you distribute content for the Twitter people? How can you distribute content for the Facebook people? How can you distribute people for the actual people who come to your website? Emails as well. So there is a lot of things that you've got to think about when it comes to content. You begin, and if you're sending the same message to every single platform, you're most likely going to upset a lot of people. And this is what we see in the day, when to effectively send the right message to the right person with the right channel. So you would really need some sort of ways of managing this. And I think we're going to be touching on some of that a bit later on. And as I said, this particular area, it's so broad in what it is. And hopefully I'll be able to give you just some insights if you're writing content for the first time or haven't actually thought about content and how powerful it is and how it works with marketing, or again, trying to do this content marketing. I will just give you an overview and how it works. So what I'm going to be talking about here is one area that we have used many moons ago, and it still actually works today. Take for example, we've got content. They're what we call these sites I've got in front of me, what we call article directories. So when we talk about marketing and definitely content marketing, is that we have a particular set of information. Take it from, see if it was actually a how-to or just some information on a product or service. These particular websites hold these particular information, so you don't really need a token sold website. So what you do, you post this particular article in a certain way. I'm going to go through these in a moment, and they are structured in a way. Let's go to one of them. I'm going to go to, I do believe it's e-zine articles. I've just actually put here. I'm going to give you an idea. So this one here I've just snatched quickly, and it's young by, I would say, Joe, I think Walsh. He's getting his props here, and he's been an author for quite a while. So what Joe's done is okay, he's actually gone out there to talk about website content strategy 101. So he's done a little article in a specific way. As you can see, the arrows are pointing to his brand, obviously, and that's what he's promoting. You see here, Joe Welsh, and this is an opportunity for him to get out there and spread his word. More importantly, but he's got a strategy behind it. He writes off with the article in a way that is interesting, and he's adding value to the end user. So what happens here is that the article goes out into the internet and also what we call ranks. What I mean rank is that when people type in the search criteria, taking for example, web content strategy 101, he's the first one there. Remember, he doesn't have to have a website. All he's got to do is have this article. And if he has quite a few of them, he's building up again an idea of go-to. Now, this is quite interesting. e-zine articles, you've got loads and loads of articles out there based on different types of subjects and topics, which are quite useful. And they are recognized in the internet for lots of good content in the way they do things. And that's pretty good. So think about it. If you wrote about something and you had a set of instructions for the end user to go and do, say like, click on this link or visit me or XYZ. I mean, in this situation, you're not actually supposed to promote these type of things. But if you did that, imagine what will happen. Yeah. Or call me on 1-800 blah, 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 blah. You're getting people to engage in your content a bit more clearly. Majority of people write content and forget to even put where to contact me for more information. Because somebody may say, okay, that solved the problem. But you as a business owner, you want to try and generate revenue or get new clientele or just to find out what's really happening in this world. So majority of people, when you write content, think about it clearly, because it's like going back to school. And I'm going to go a bit more to that in a bit more, because I said there's lots of things that we've got to talk about here, and the stages that you need to follow to ensure that the content is written in a way, because we're talking about marketing. It's not like you're writing an essay. This is where you get when people drop off when they think, hang on a minute, it doesn't really make any sense. So at the bottom of this particular article, and as I said, again, the article source, and again, he's got the expert Joe Welsh. And again, you can see this particular thing here is actually giving you the opportunity to subscribe. He's talked about what it is. And, as you can see at the very, very bottom, Joe has a link to his actual website. Yeah, he's done the right thing. It's just about where you can see the article source. You got, http marketingcontent.com, and that's his website content. So he's wrote something, he's given you the 101 about what it is, and he's actually given you a link at the bottom. All right, and this is how you should structure your particular content when you write. It doesn't matter what medium it is, if it's got the ability to give a link or phone number or some sort of information where that person can go to next, you're marketing to people in the right way. So think about this. Remember, you don't have to personally do all this. And you're thinking overwhelmed? No. I'm going to touch on that a bit later on. Somewhere in your rapid time. So more important, as I said, we need a system to do this. Yes, we do. Save yourself stress, time, energy, and money. Without a system, you'll be, scratching your head, and what I call, you'll have the me syndrome. Why all do this? So you can see, if you're not really good at writing, why should you even bother to get involved? You've got to run the business. All right, it can be done. There's lots of really, really credible people out there that can write for you, and yeah, you can actually do it for cheap. If you can do that, again, hire people to do the job. So put that in the actual mix of things. Yeah, to try to get people to write for you. And there's some very, very good people out there that can actually write for you. I'm going to actually talk about this because this is where it comes into the system itself. So the strategy itself. Let's talk about the content strategy. Determining the objectives for the content marketing. Let's determine first, what is it that you're trying to solve? What problem are you trying to solve? Ask yourself that when you start to write content. Don't just go out there and just blur and copy somebody else. Yeah, you don't know what problem they're trying to solve unless you understand this person. All right. So your objectives for content marketing, because you maybe want to do multiple things on different platforms. Look at the platform that you're on. What does it serve? If you take, for example, it's a video platform. So you may be talking to YouTubers or video people. People might want to see that in a visual way. All right. So start out with those objectives first before you start, your targeted audience. I must stress how important this is, because everybody goes out there and tries to actually target everybody. That's not how it works. Not everybody has the same interests, the same likes. They're at different ages. We've got to look at this very, very carefully to understand, what are the audiences that we are trying to target, and if they really, really make any sense. Do these people yield any sort of authority? Are they the go-to people? Are they people that make decisions? What I mean by this is, and let's break it down about an audience. If we wanted to try and market and have some content and get to somebody whereby we want to solve a problem where they needed a hair transplant or whatever, maybe, or again, they needed something to do with, they needed an operation of some sort. We want to try and give them an advice about the operation whereby the audience has that, or has that problem. Yeah, excuse me. And we want to ensure that these people get the right information. They may be in a particular area, a location, and we need to make sure these people can receive the message in the way it is. So Think about your audience. There are tools out there, and again, later on in the sessions, and later on, we've got so much content that we have to give out. Can't go through how to really go down and drill down marketed audiences. It's key here. You get the right information at the beginning, you get the right results at the end. Yeah. Good research provides good result. I can't stress 100% on this. You must go out and get the right audience first, because you'll be talking to people that are going to clearly waste your time and put your business down. All right. So don't be going after people that you think everybody's involved. And if anybody asks you a question, what is your target audience? You can definitively say, this is my targeted audience and why I actually target them. All right. So business owners, as I said, entrepreneurs, think about this very, very carefully when you haven't done this. You haven't done this before. And if you haven't asked yourself as a business owner, who is my target audience? Do not say everybody, because that is a total lie. Yeah, I'm going to tell you that, because you cannot serve everybody. And if you did, then you do tell me, because any business owner right now has a targeted audience and what they do. The audience needs, and I've sort of keep these two together. And as I said before, ask this question in your business today. What problem does your business solve? Write that down. And I will say, think about it. What problem does your business solve? Yeah. You shouldn't solve tons and tons of problems. You should have something clear and specific. But yet again, this is something somebody could ask you. You can say, I help, or you do whatever may be, X, Y, Z. There are ways that you can do it, but think about it carefully. What problem does your business solve? Your audience needs. So what do they need from you? Yeah, they need some sort of help. They need some sort of advice. Your content should actually specifically tell these people what the problem is. How to solve the problem. So hence why it's important when you write content, it's actually solving these problems. This is how you engage them and get them to find more about what you do, because you're solving their problem. I really hope this is making some sense, and it's, again, thumbs up. If you want to comment in the window, say, yes, this is making some sense and it's clear and it's valuable, please do. While we're in the window, put it in the chat window to make sure that I know you're finding this very, very, very enlightening as we go through. It's pretty simple. As I said, we're halfway through today's session. Put it in the chat window if you're online right now. I can gather, we've got lots of people listening around on different mediums. If you're not near the chat window, don't worry. Put in the comment window, this is great, Leon. Most importantly, I should say, comment and subscribe. More important, because when we have these shows, we want to ensure we can remind you immediately when these things go live. Yeah, we don't actually go out and do it to everybody, because business owners are very busy, and we want to make sure that we can get to you straight away. So yeah, comment and subscribe to the channel. This video will shift to another channel afterwards, because it's actually on the wrong channel, by the way. But we go on. Execution plan. Guys, I must stress again, an execution plan. This is different from a business plan. Don't get the two actually confused. I'm not really talking about a business plan for content strategy. This doesn't really come into play. We've got to think about how we're going to execute the content we actually deliver to people. What medium? Is it going to be automated? Do we need staff? How are we going to write it? We're going to do the research. This all needs to be planned out strategically, because it does take a lot of time to do this. And if you don't have that way of thinking, a plan of action, you're going to go into a mess. Yep, lots of people go out and say, I'm going to do it myself. You've got a business to run. One day the content may be, late. The other day the content's got grammar, punctuation, mistakes inside here. It can really ruin your business if you don't think about this action plan. This is critical. It takes to put a plan like this. And what we do for our particular clients, me and Ron, we think about it carefully. How we're going to source this content and how we're going to deliver it to them, to the actual outside world, because it helps our clients understand, things that we don't see. So we try to also educate our clients about writing content and who's going to deliver it and what's going to be done. And they don't look at cost; they look at the end results. All right. So that's how you got to look at it. You may not even need to do it yourself, but again, you may want to hire an agency. Yeah, this is not a sell, but more importantly, this is the way you can do it. All right. Don't think about anything in your business as a huge cost. Look at the return on investment here. If you do something, you hire people out, it takes away time from you, but you can actually get the return on investment. And this is what you've got to think about. Many businesses don't done that. Review what you've done, and go over it and over it and over it again. It's a process, it's a system. Yeah, you're trying to really get into a system whereby this is going to work in a way that's going to return. So you're probably asking yourself, Leon, you've been talking about this thing. It seems more than what it is. All right, what you were just writing. You've got your Facebook campaign, you've got your blog, you've got your website, you've got all these mediums, you've got even LinkedIn, and you want to distribute content to everywhere around the world. Is it a good idea or is it a bad idea? You're asking yourself a question. Remember I said before, targeted audience first is more important. And it may work for some, may not work for others. But again, see the same message on the internet 2, 3, 4, 5 times, and nobody's reading it. Why are you even bothering? It's just going to get circulated for no reason. Don't think anybody's going to actually come and think about the target audience, which is going to yield the best ROI. So here, I'm going to give you something whereby I've just taken a quick screen snapshot of somebody's account. Not one of mine. This is actually from the internet, and this is a company called Hootsuite. Now, remember I was talking about a system of delivering messages systematically all over the place. It could be good, it could be bad, but think about it. If we had a strategy to say, listen, we understand what the average person does, and this is how it really works on the internet. Here is the secret. You would think that the messages that you receive today and in content-wise are reading a newspaper are brand new. They're actually not. The buzzword is rehashed, and I'm going to, again, if you're into the media and things like that, if you're listening right now, I'm sorry to blow your bubble. The things that I've actually done, and I'm going to break it down to you, and this is how it works. And I want you to think about how you, as the actual consumer, are being marketed to. In one whole year, we now can predict what your pattern is going to be. Why? Because we got a systematic events that happen each and every month. So if we're going to actually do something, let's start from the beginning. January, February. January, you're just coming out of Christmas. We know you're going probably in debt because you spent a lot of money on Christmas presents. So we talk about how to get out of debt. You probably want to lose weight because you've ate a lot of food at Christmas time and you need to go to the gym. If you look quite closely, if you're in the gym and health and fitness around January, people were advertising gym memberships. We move on, go down to February. Yeah, February, we know we're talking about chocolates and Valentine's and gifts. So it's not even what I found, even they gifts on Valentine's in February. We're even talking gifts for the actual pets for Valentine's. Wow, I thought. This is totally amazing. So write the right content around those times for people that want to spend that type of thing. If that's your industry, give them wonderful Valentine's gifts. What to go for. The objective is them to read the content, click on a link, and go off somewhere else to buy that product. I will speak about that in a moment. But more important, let's go to March, April. Tax time is April time from really everybody around that time. June, we now are talking about if you've got children, we've got people starting to go on holiday because it's nice and sunny. June, July, August, we do have events around Easter. September, October, November, December. We know the situation beyond that. Again, you're coming down to the colder areas where things are talking about Christmas and things and events. So that's all I need to know. How to advertise you when these particular events come up. And again, if you want to add more to the mix, your birthdays, your uncle birthdays, this is what social media is picking up on and using against you. If this broadcast session disappears in 5 minutes, you know I've exposed other people, but no, you won't. But more importantly, again, if you're a small business owner, and I don't want you to think about that, we are marketing and this is what we do. We understand these trends, we understand this pattern. But again, for a small business owner, to keep it simple, it's more important that you need a system in place. This particular platform called Hootsuite. Hootsuite is a social media platform where you can deliver content systematically every day. You just load all it up and guess what? You schedule it to go out and every other day. This is what's happening in the Facebook and LinkedIn on all pages, blogs in the background. You are being sent messages all over the place, systematically driven. They are not new. These people wrote it in a way that you engage in something that you don't even know that's been written, 1 year ago. Yep, they know when things are going to happen, so why not schedule it? Yeah, they can change the link, and what you can see in the Twitter ones as well, they've got links, and also the Facebook ones, they're tagging people, they're doing a lot of stuff. Strategically done. They don't have to monitor it. They can actually get other people to actually write the actual information as well. Strategically done. Now, as we said, when we talk about content marketing, obviously you could deliver that person value, give them a link to go off to a different particular page, and you could get paid for it. A business in a box. You don't need a website. There's no website in here end of the day. They would probably direct into you. They're probably directing different links and different things, or you could actually do it for somebody else. You're thinking, oh my gosh, what have they told me about building my website? You don't need one. Yeah, I'm not really going to go into too deep. As I said, more importantly is about the strategy and what we do, and we provide value. Yeah, we're not shy on what we do. More importantly is, again, we have concepts and strategies. This is one, it may work for some, may work for others, but business owners today should take advantage of certain things. There are more platforms that do this, and they schedule content on a daily basis, and I can give them out social, social oomph. It's oomph they call it. It's social OOMPH. Tweepie, Spreadfast, there's quite a few of them that they do all different things. Some are free and some of them actually you have to pay. So once again, as you can see, I'm going to move my mouse so that you can see that. They've done tweets that go out on a regular basis, and you can receive tweets and people do get engaged. The objective is to get the person engaged in the message. You get into a frenzy on tweet and start tweeting back. Content is driven around and around in circles. But again, you could be in control of what goes on, and I'm just showing you the automation process in that way. So again, this particular site is called Hootsuite, by the way, and it's a dashboard. Now, I hope that was a bit covering and wasn't too lengthy, but let's move on. Let's continue. So let's talk about content. You've got a website, you've got a blog, and some sort of interesting thing. And I want you to write this. This is an important item. I want you to pay close attention about content. I'm going to go into this very, very deeply. But more importantly, it's going to be very, very, very easy for you to understand. You want to write content for people. There is a rule here. And I'm talking about the 3-second rule, and also talking about the format of a content, again, writing content. Pay close attention. So you want to write about something. You already discovered we need the targeted audience and the subject, the topic first. Do not try to write off the top of your head about your own expressions. Nobody is interested in you. I know it sounds a bit harsh, but when we come on the internet as people, we want to find a solution to the problem we have. So they're not interested in you. All right. Don't put your own twist into it, because again, unless it's something whereby you want to prove social proof, you had the experiences. But the majority of the time, you should actually focus on the actual delivering value to the end person. Yeah. If I talked about me all day long, I'm sure you'd be, very, very upset, wouldn't you? So more important, let's try to help you as a business owner. And this is what we do. We like to help, not try to sell you something that you don't need. So here, we've got a little article that was written by, I think it was actually one of our group. This is quite a while ago. You can see it was actually in 2010, and I thank Dee, one of my outlets, actually one of my clients, close clients out in USA. She does a lot of work as well. She's had some bestsellers to do with content. So I'm going to show the area of writing books about diets, and also very, very good. So this is what we're going to start off with. If you're doing content for blogging or on the actual internet, the website baseline, you have to have 600 words. Do not write anything less. 600 words. Write that down. So if you've got a website, if you've got right now, if you've got a blog or you're doing something, bottom line, 600 words. Do not do anything less. It's classed as actual junk, and the search engines do not like that. So 600 words, and got to have put 3 or 2 links in there. And this is where the marketing comes in. You highlight a particular word. In this situation, we've got 2 particular keywords here. You can see them in blue. If I move my mouse over there, it says control, high blood pressure, and diet. And some of you may be typing in the search engine that particular keyword. And again, when we go to the other workshops, I will tell you about keyword research and what effect it does to search engine. And if you want to come into the buzzword, it's called SEO. Well, we're not talking about that today. So here we've got 2 keywords, and they follow in the actual sentences as well. Part of to control high blood pressure, because people type that in, and the objective is for the actual search engines to find that. It's highlighted the link and get that person to that particular product. Now, and we can see here, foods that lower blood pressure. Now, this is something, again, we found out, okay, this is a keyword that, again, people type in because they have their blood pressure. So you can see this particular document is really what we call rich in the word keyword blood pressure. So it's targeted to the right people that want to lower their blood pressure. And as you can see by the tab, foods that lower the blood pressure. So we can see the whole article is making sense. You can see there's links in there that can actually help the user and add value by even offering a book that actually lowers blood pressure. Now, I hope you understand that in a nutshell. When writing content, you want to write about something that actually goes in, and you must have links inside the actual content that move you on to the next stage. This is one side of it. So this is how you've got to start off with a strategy and understanding how to write content. This particular thing, a lot of people do this in the right way at sometimes. Some people do get it wrong because they don't understand how this actually works. Yeah. So I want you to understand, all right, let's bring in what we've been told in school. We have to write a beginning, a middle, and the end. You could break up a particular paragraph into 3 sections, or even going into 5. It must have a beginning, tell the story. In the middle, you really waffle, and have an ending closing off to a link to somewhere. So this is how you've got to think about it. Yep. If you're not really good at content writing, hire somebody. Yeah, there are some places out there where you can hire people that can actually do that. Again, Odesk, thousands and thousands of people that can write. Even $2 an hour. And think about it. Again, it's just a strategy on how to deliver that thing to that person, whereby they can write for you, where it's actually generating money for your business. It doesn't matter what business you've got. you do have to write some sort of content because you want to get the awareness and branding out there by using some of these channels. It may be audio, it may be video, as we said before, it may be contextual, as in text wise, to get things out. No matter what you've got to do, you've got to have this process whereby you're delivering content consistently and it's of some value. So this is the base rule when it comes to writing, and as I said, you know, for the internet, and really trying to get the search engines to do what they got to do for your business, where it's going to make some sense. All right, so in that particular way. Right, we've got about 6 minutes left. No, we haven't actually. We've got approximately 10 minutes left, and I think actually, you know, I'm actually going for a bit more. Another 15. So we're going to go on because I'm going to tell you some more secrets and things. So if you're online right now, as I always say, if you think this is very good, I want you to invite people who just near through, and they've probably missed it again. Guess what? I'm going to go through some stuff and give away some information and also some prizes. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to really go into, again, a lot of competition. Competition, winning alone, give away something, give somebody on this call today the ability to win 500 USD worth of training with me. Would you like that, everybody? Would you say a yes for everybody? Yeah, type in the chat room or type in the chat box if you want me to give away something. If you really want, it's really something. If you don't want it, I won't give it away. I'll just continue with the content and give away the secrets that really lots of people pay for. In the way it is. Yes, I'm looking at the clock here. Again, just got enough time. If I pushed it in, yes, that'd be great stuff. So, yeah, tell your friends, tell your people that we're on. Give them the link if you've been given. Let us know where you're tuning in from and things like that, so we know that we support the cause. Because then, if you support us, we will deliver. Yeah, that's all we do. That's all we ask. Yeah. Because if people are listening in and they're struggling with their business today, we're here to assist, and we're here not to sell you something that you don't need that others do. All right. So, yes, let's move on. As I said, bottom line is, again, provide good content that makes some sense, have the strategy, beginning, middle, and the end, and also have it keyword rich. And I will talk about that in another session when it comes to SEO. Best practices. Don't be lazy. Don't copy and paste things that have been written. It doesn't make no sense. If you're trying to conform to the big G Google algorithm, Google will not like things that have been copied and pasted somewhere else. It doesn't really bring any sort of value if you do. This is the same. Yeah. Tell us why. As I said, solve the person's problem. Remember, this is your reputation. If you go out there copying and pasting things, people are really going to know. The average end person is not silly, and you won't really get far because you're talking when you do these sort of things and it gets out there. The computer system knows that it's been copied from somewhere else, and it compares it, and they know where the original source came from. There are places where they can find out this. Once again, there's so much information I can tell you about the secret and how it works. Actually, you know what? I don't even tell you a secret. Again, it's called Copyscape. It's one website. They can actually type it in. You just type in a sentence of something, and you can tell how many websites it's been on, how many times it's been copied, or so it's actually been copied from somebody else. So Copyscape, and type that in. And guess what? If you have an article you've seen, and you wonder why it's at the #1 spot, let's put it in and see if it's original. If it is, wow, great. If it's not, it will show you where the actual source came from, and that's how it is. And when it comes to that, be creative. Right? Yeah, not too out of the box, but more be creative and put your own flair into it and make it entertaining for the actual end user to read if they're reading your article or any content that you have. So this is what you want to do, because you want to build up that kind of, bit of value and to interest to that person. This is why you read books, because they are compelling in what they do. Yeah, you don't have to hard sell somebody. More importantly, it's about the art of reciprocity. You give to get. If you're good at give out good information, you get good results. If you don't, the person will click off and they go to 10. You've only got 3 seconds sometimes to get you from the first reading of the actual paragraph for that person to start to engage in what you're trying to do. Right? So think about that. Add value. I told you about that. Adding value is most important when you do this. Yeah, if you're not adding value to the business and service, guess what? The person will, just switch off from that. Use the 3-second rule. All right. Remember that again. You've got 3 seconds to start doing. So more importantly, have a look at the first line of what you're doing. Tell a story about what happened, your experiences. Remember not to waffle on. Yeah, but more importantly, make it somewhere they can understand what's really going on here. Solve a problem. Don't go out and create a problem. Yeah, because if they can't understand you, you're given a problem. If you send them off our links where it doesn't make any sense, you've got a problem. If you're waffling on, you're talking about things that don't make any sense, you've got a problem. If you said it in one place and you said it in another place, yeah, you've got a problem. If you're sending them off on the wrong time, a day, you've got a problem. Yeah. Think about this very, very carefully as your business owner. If you're just starting out, or if you're not a business owner, if you're online, this could also apply to you. And the density I was referring to, 600 words. Okay. I hope this has been useful in today's session, because we do want to help a lot of people struggling within this particular area when it comes to this, because we do find a lot of people find it difficult to understand this content, and definitely when it comes to marketing a business with contents, it can be very, 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 very overwhelming. Q&As, remember, batch your Q&As up if you've got any questions that you do want to ask. If you're at the top right hand side of the screen, you could put it in there for some Q&As. If you've got some, stick it in, because we're going to be talking about it in a moment or two. We're into our, we've gone past our first hour. I'm going to go for another 15 minutes or so into the conversation. But more importantly, this is what we're going to do. Resources. Now, as I said before, you really don't have to do this yourself. You're probably wondering, where is this? Hang on a minute, you don't have to do it myself? Yes, it's true. Now, again, business strategy. Let's look at business and why people hire people to do this for us. Any successful newspaper company, they have staff. They're all capable of putting together a whole big, newspaper. Not to say, again, a company doesn't have any money. They have a strategy to say, okay, news travels faster, than you got a way how to deliver it to actually generate particular information. If you are the go-to person and you provide the content that it is, again, available and is original, this is where you probably can start off. Yeah. But how, even on top of that, again, you've got people out there that can actually write for you. And again, at the top of them, again, you've got Odesk and freelancers. Why not hire somebody else? Now, the objective is obviously you've got to make that you want to make sure the revenue is coming back so you can pay these people. And these people are your staff. If your business cannot make $2 an hour, you really need to consider why you're in business. Yep. Because that could pay somebody to write content that can bring in revenue for your business throughout the whole year. Now think about it. Remember, you don't have to hire a person on the regular basis. You just write them to write content and batch it up for the whole year. Done. Or get a package whereby they will do that for you. Strategic ways of doing this. It's again, a lot of people don't tell you about this. They tell you, okay, go and hire a freelancer, but you don't have a system in place. That's the wrong approach to actually hiring somebody. When you go to work for a job, they don't say come into the job and we don't have something for you. They already question you what you need to do and what your job role is. This is what you've got to assess when it comes to content writing and freelancing. Yep. I think I've covered that in, I think, outsourcing. Yeah, we did cover that in outsourcing last week and the other day when it comes to outsourcing people. But again, it's more deep and there's more strategies you need to put in place. Understanding the system you've got to put in place first for that person to come in your business and do what you've got to do. Remember, we're talking about content creator. I mean, it's content creation. There are some software platforms that will actually generate content for you. Some of them are good, some of them are bad, because they actually go out there and grab information from different places and it doesn't read well. It doesn't make any sense. Content creators, I mean, there are resources that do that. Some of them do it very, very good. And guess what? Some people, content creators, what they do, they've actually got articles pre-written for you. Nice. Yeah, they haven't gone out on the internet, they're fresh and they look. And guess what? These companies, what they ask you, what do you want actually written? How much of content do you want? And they will write content for you based on your particular topic, and it's all done, and they will deliver it. They'll even put it on your website. I thought that was cool. Yeah, we have got quite a few people, and again, they'll be able to do this for you in a matter of seconds. What do? You just pay them whatever you want, and they will just schedule it, and they can guarantee a turnaround in probably 1 or 2, 3 days. Or I don't know. You can get. It's up to you, really, depending on what you want to try and do. Yeah, so in that way, scheduling platforms. If you want to go into different mediums, again, you've got the Twitters, the LinkedIn's, and whatever it may be, and again, you need to actually use these in conjunction with things, because obviously Twitter, there's only so much you can put in. A YouTube video may give away the whole process. It may be a combination of the three. The Twitter user comes on the particular Twitter platform. You send them a tweet to go to a video, an article to listen to, and the article goes to a video for them to watch. And the end point is actually to get them to sell. It could be combination with it, whereby it could be a video, and the video will tell them to go to a blog, or again, the blog sends a tweet to them. There's an update, so it can be a whole combination of these things. More important, don't send the same message on the same platform, because you're using energy in the day, and what happens is that message gets echoed into too many places at one given point of time, and the end user may pick up one, and you don't want to be guessing because you cannot gauge what goes on, right? So looking at this very, very carefully, what I said before, what we call affiliate marketing, and this is what we're going to be talking about next week. How do you make money from this? Buzzword: monetization. Remember I said before that you click on a link and you go off to the final result where people want to sell. How about having your product or service on Amazon? Not service, or say your product, whereby you write about something and the link you said you've highlighted or you said to read more information is a book or a particular thing or anything. I'll give an example. If we were talking about that, the blood pressure, the high blood pressure. If we recommended a blood pressure unit or some food on Amazon, we get commission from it. This is what quote unquote passive income money while you're sleeping. And if you schedule that one particular article every month and it has the new product or something that you're going to endorse, the deck you've worked on, you may say, this could be very, very lucrative. Next time you see an article and you see a link behind it, try and track out the path and see what their objective is. If they're very, very good in what they do, they'll have a good strategy in place. So let's move on. We've got Q&As now, and coming to a close as usual. I mean, we've got about 15 minutes, and I'm going to spread hard and fast on here. And once again, if Ron's here around, Ron is probably in the background. He's doing working these magical things as usual, and I thank him for the opportunity to be working with him. He's been a very, very great, inspiring help in the day. He's a magician what he does, and he's very, very good. So We've got a question here. Oh wow, you guys are just totally amazing when you ask these questions. You know, it's really good to hear that these people are really engaging what it is. Again, if you've got a question that you do want to ask me, don't be shy. I'm not here to bite. It doesn't matter how silly it may be. Fire it through, because you know, it's good to hear different types of things, different walks of life, and it really amazes me what people do when it comes to these particular things. So, question goes here: where can I find people to write for me? Okay, all right. Okay, I'm going back to what I said. Finding for people to write for you, it is a bit of a process. And I said, you're hiring somebody, or you don't have to hire somebody. There are content creative people, I said before, that can actually do content for you. There are few companies that they're pretty good. Some people do well. Some people can got good grammar, good English, and they can actually do it for you, and they can turn around the content really, really quickly. More importantly, you really got to focus on it's hard, on what it is. It's quite important you do so, and you understand it. I'm just going to sort of stop the slideshow as well here, Mum, because come back to it. But yes, you've really got to think about that very, very carefully when you're choosing people to write for you, because you may have a style of wanting to get a person to write for you. And if it's something whereby they don't understand your product or service, and they may write some mumbo jumbo, and that's what you don't want to be doing, whereby you're choosing the wrong people. But there are platforms out there that can write some content, some very, very good content for you, which is original and fresh. But more importantly, you need to go out there, you really need to think about it carefully when you're going to write the content, and get it out there. But there are platforms that say the content creators, the software. You don't have to buy the software. You buy into the system. You still buy credit to write about 4 or 5 articles, 10 articles, how many of you want, you feel that you need to deliver, and strategically put it in a way that you may want to write it to, as I said before, 10 articles, or for, you may want to write articles all season, however you want to do it. Yeah. But again, you've got to have a strategy in place if you're going to do that, and make some sense in that way. So, but yeah, if you haven't got anybody to write for you, hire somebody. Yeah, that can do all the work for you, and you don't have to worry about all the technical stuff and things like that. Hope that helps, Mary, on that one. Question comes in. I don't. Oh, I don't have any content. I'm just trying to read this one here. So I've got a question here. I think what they're asking, they don't have any content, but they want to train somebody about it and how to do it. Okay, so all right, okay. I would say, listen, if you're going to try and write content first, and you've got no ideas what you really want to write about, this is key. As I said before, when you're doing content and you're trying to do this for the first time, and I think a lot of business owners are doing this in a way, same for all different platforms. It doesn't really matter what it is. If you're doing a radio show, if you're doing a YouTube show, yeah, what are you going to be talking about? Stop doing your personal experiences. Nobody wants to listen to you. I'm being harsh on you. More importantly, people tune in to really get something whereby it's going to they're in tune with. So if you have an audience, you can ask the question, what is it that they want to hear? Meaning, what problem are you trying to solve? Yeah, and listen to them. They will tell you what they want to hear. Yeah. Let's say, example, you go to a rock concert, if you like rock or jazz in the day, and the actual band says, what song would you like to hear? We all know we go to concerts, guess what? They play some of the songs that we don't even want to hear. Yeah, we want to hear those songs that we actually brought us to them. It's more compelling. That's what you went there for, to hear that. And you might really get upset when you don't hear those songs that you thought they would play. Yeah. So that is the difference in the thing when it comes to. So when it comes to content, I know it can be difficult, but again, ask the question to your audience. What are the things that they want you to write about using your flair and your expertise? And these are the type of things that I definitely strongly suggest you can drop us a line. And this is why we do surveys and ask you, listen, it's not about us, it's about you getting the full potential where we want to help you grow your business and understand what you want to hear. It's not what we can tell. So I hope that answers that question when it comes to really, ask about your audience. We've got another question here. Excellent. I think this is very, very good question. I think somebody has asked a question here, and I think the comment, actually, it's a comment, I think, which is pretty good. And I can give it as a tip. If you want to get into the me syndrome, and the quickest way to even start to use content or anything that you do have is search around on your hard drive. On your hard drive, you have content which is original, fresh, and whatever it may be, that people may want to again see. You may need to update it slightly just to bring it into context of today's world and make it useful. On your hard drive, you've got billions of documents, things that you've wrote, things that you've got, useful information within your market, which can be helpful. You just got to look at it. If it's 600 words, add some content, add some new things, update it, and push it out to the world. You could have 12 documents ready for the world and going out each particular month without you doing anything. So the same thing if you're running a radio show, if you're on a YouTube channel, if you're doing an MP3 podcast, exactly the same thing. You build up the series of things and you're consistent within this particular world. That's how you become the authoritative person, because you are literally putting things out there. Again, I hope this is making some sense, and today's workshop has been of some great value and good use. So we've got about 5 minutes here, so we're going to close out soon. Guess what, guys? You've been wonderful. Yes, and more importantly, we're going to be here 8th of May, Friday, same time, 11:30. I suggest you guys, you come early. The way you're going to win the competition, you're actually going to literally send us an email on the next page. I want you to answer this question. How many words did I say you must have to actually start off with when you're writing content on the screen? Yeah, this is just content, by the way, but it doesn't affect anything to audio. But more importantly, think about that very, very carefully. So if you want to win some training with me, email me or run. We'll choose a lucky person again who've actually responded. This applies to if you actually get this on replay, or you've got the link late, or you're coming in late and you're actually getting this. It applies to you, still open, and this is what I want to give away. Remember what I said about at the beginning, Young Gentleman by Stuart. If you're really, really, really serious about really understanding what things tick and how to build authority, 99 cents can really get you a big bargain. If you do get it, comment on his thing, because this guy is totally amazing. I really want to endorse him because he's very, very good. 8th of May, affiliate marketing. I am not going to play around with this one. Guys, I've got some secrets behind it. What is it? Websites and how to make money. This is one of the things I'm going to tell you about, the real secrets about what's going on. Competition, guys. Email addresses. Send us an email. If you thought today was great, give us a comment. If you really want to hear something more than what we've got outside the boundaries of marketing, and you're in business right now, and you think you've got something that you've said, okay, we have it covered. Yeah. Please do email me, myself, or you can run. We'll be glad to hear about what you have to say. And if you need any sort of help in one of these, feel free to reach out to us. We do have a consulting services that we can go to deep more and evaluate your business and try to help you overcome some of the fears and barriers in the business. Don't forget to comment and subscribe. Wonderful session, and I'll speak to you in 2 weeks' time. Take care and have a wonderful day.